Welcome to the JSPT podcast. This is another episode of Sports Talk, and today you're stuck here with just me. So, and by just me, I mean you should probably know this is Marion, yeah, again as usual, we'll be featuring some music from Kiedo, and my good buddy Kiedo, he's been dropping some new music on I believe it's SoundCloud and Bandcamp. So I'm gonna try to link the Bandcamp in the description. I'm pretty sure SoundCloud's usually in there anyway. So definitely check it out. The shit's great. And today is May 19th, 2020. And yeah, still doing this whole quarantine thing. But I don't know. I've gotten to a point now where it doesn't. I feel like it's definitely not phasing me as much as it was before. But I think I've been more on edge. My patience with people is shorter. But whatever. Let's move on to the sports. So there have been 3 UFC events, all last week, and it was 249, right? It was UFC 249, which is Ferguson, Gaethje, and you had Smith, Texera. Hope I'm saying that right. That was on Wednesday, and then you had the most recent one that was on Saturday, Overeem versus Harris. So I'm gonna go through all 3 events, and I'm just gonna sum up some victories, how I felt about some fights, and then we're gonna elaborate on more UFC news in general, and then from there we're gonna move on to other topics, right? So I guess let's get started. So the event that I watched the most of was the first one, which was Ferguson Gaethje, and basically it was one of the most stacked cards I think I've seen. Then again, it's one of those things with like you ride the high of the most recent cards that you've seen, and I feel like even like the professional fans or like the professional like announcers and stuff do the same thing. It's like, wow, this is the most amazing fight I've ever seen. But then like you said that like 2 months ago, and a month before that, and 3 months before then, and then like 5 months before then, and you know what I mean? It's like we're always like, oh, this is the most amazing. It's the most amazing because it's the most recent thing. You know what I mean? But this was a really stacked card, especially I think in terms of timing too. This was like really a gift to the sports world. And I mean, I feel like fighting sports is something that like I don't see how you can't like it at all. So, I guess like a gift to the world, but whatever. Like it's not for everyone, obviously. But yeah, so let's run down I'm gonna go on the fight side. So I saw like the tail end of the Bryce Mitchell, like I saw parts of it. The Bryce Mitchell Charles Rosa fight. I think I saw mostly like the second round, and yeah, just like Bryce he just had this shit under control. He's just dominating. I really like the kid. I just hope that one day he's in like title contention, like for real. I really fucks with the kid. He's super respectful and like funny and like relatable and country as fuck. So yeah, he's cool. And he's just dominant. He's really good. All right, so then you have Vincent Luque versus Nico Price. That one was like a I'm trying to remember, dude. Fuck, I don't remember that one too much. I think that was another one when I was doing stuff, but I had the fights running for my friends because we had like a watch party, and I had it in a way where like I bought it and we were just all watching it on like Discord and everything. Well, actually no, we all chipped in, and then we were all watching it on like Discord and shit. But at the time, I was running around doing other stuff. So that fight I think I saw even less of. But then after that, you had Carla Esperanza's fight versus Michelle Waterson. Obviously, I was rooting for the Karate Hottie. And then, I mean, I think Michelle won. And most of my friends feel the same way. But that somehow Cookie Monster got the fucking decision. That was one of those decisions I was like, oh, what the fuck? it's just one of those things. I think we need like another like rework of how fights are judged, and we also need to rework how we approach judges, and like they're not just some like anonymous like person who just who's like, well, I mean mildly anonymous, because like we know their names but we don't get this, like, like, we don't see them, we don't know them, they're not personalities in the sport, they're just names. And some names have been tied to more shitty decisions than others, but still, they're kind of like a disembodied name that just dictates who wins and who doesn't. And a lot of times they get decisions like very wrong in the eyes of the fans, at least. So it's like, what the fuck is going on here? So we got to work on that, I think, as a sport, because it's like, I think that's probably the biggest problem in sport right now. It's like some of these decisions just seem like outlandish. But like I'm like, I understand why they decide what they decide. I just think that the the guidelines that they follow or whatever they look for is just dumb. It's just dumb. It just, yeah, it's like you promote like if you're not gonna like actually get a finish, they promote like the most boring of like fighting styles. Guys, it's like, it's like, it's a weird thing. They want people to like push action, but they don't have to actually be throwing punches or throwing kicks or throwing strikes or actually securing takedowns or nothing. They just gotta just be pushed. It's like pushing the pace. And it's like, you just hate to see it, because the motherfucker just grab onto like someone, hold on to them for like a whole minute of the round, push them up against the cage. Don't do any damage. Just holding them against the cage against their will. And that gets you like big time points for that round. It's like, it's silly to me. So anyway, moving on. You had Olenek versus Verdum. And yeah, Olenek fucking, he secured that one. Yeah, I was rooting for him. So me and my friends were definitely having a fun time cracking jokes during that one. But yeah, that was a great fight. I enjoyed it. Man's is a super vet, bro. He's just been fighting. I mean, so is Verdum, but Olenek, he's been fighting. I think he's the only fighter in the UFC to have fought in 3 different decades right now. Some shit. I don't know. Or at least he's like one of the only. I think Overeem has also done that. I don't see why Overeem would not have. I think they say he started in like 97. Or was that just like kickbox? I don't know, whatever. But 1,003 fight. Now the welterweight bout. This one was a little bit tricky. You had Anthony Pettis, who I like, and you had Donald Cerrone, who I also like. But Donald Cerrone really needs a win. So I was rooting for him. And yeah, it didn't go well. Anthony Pettis fucked him up. Like, it's like you just hate to see it. And Donald, he has no. I think as of right now, he has no like goals on like retiring. It's like, this is like, I think his 4th loss in a row now, and it's just like, Donald, it might be time to hang it up. Um, if you really feel like you need to keep fighting, go to like a lower promotion with like less competition, or just take lesser fights. Like, and like, I know he just loves it so much, but it's like you hate to see it. But big props to Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis was able to just get his thing going, standing up without letting Donald really get going. He did a good job, I guess, like avoiding like head kicks and just not being in the right position to receive one of those, and was just keeping Donald off his rhythm. So good job for Anthony Pettis. Moving on to this fucking fight, fucking Greg Hardy versus Johan De Castro. Like a good friend of mine, Harry, just continues to say, another person just like bent over and just gave Greg Hardy a win. Like, Castro didn't do anything, bro. He just kind of just stood there and just getting hit. That's pretty much all I have to say about the fight. Greg Hardy is trying to be a good guy. He's a good guy. I just don't like him. Not yet. I think he has to get his tattoos filled out, add some new tattoos, because those cringy ass tribal tattoos with like the spiky tribal is just so cringy to me. I hate those shits. I don't like the look in his eyes. I hate his fucking hair. But in interviews, he's likable. And yeah, and then like the whole domestic violence thing. But then again, like, to be real, I wouldn't hate him for that. I just don't like him in general. So that's another like thing added to the basket. but I think that was long enough ago, and if I'm being unbiased here, or if like me just being annoyed by him physically and just appearance, he seems like a cool guy who's trying to make a better, who's trying to like learn and be a better person. But it's also kind of hard to like him though, because he's not really. It feels like he's just very like he's not earning these wins. He's just somehow like I don't know, whatever. Moving on. Okay, Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar. I know a little bit about Calvin Kattar. I've heard about Jeremy Stevens, so I knew this would be a really good fight. My homie Harry was rooting for Jeremy Stevens. I was rooting for Calvin Kattar. Me along with a couple other homies, and yeah, Calvin Kattar knocked him the fuck out. It was beautiful. That elbow, that was a hellbow. You know how the term hellbow? You hit a really good elbow. It's like it's an elbow from hell. That was a hellbow. I don't think I've ever seen an elbow thrown so much like a punch. It was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. And then he hit him with another elbow that leaked him. Loved it. Actually, honestly, I might watch that fight again in a minute. I'm getting hyped. And I went in it in the second round. It was great. Now you have another fucking crazy ass fucking knockout. Francis Ngannou blitzed the fuck out of Rosenstrike. I think, right? It was Rosenstrike, right? It was Rosenstrike. Let me double check. Fuck it, I don't care. Yeah, fucking just killed him. You know, it's like Francis can't miss. As far as what's next for Francis Ngannou, damn, I don't know. It's like he's in a weird spot because what's his face is like holding up the whole division, Stipe, and it's just like that. It really sucks. Like I understand the whole like obligation, like I'm a firefighter, this, that, and the third. Sorry for yawning. But it's like you also made an obligation to this sport and to all of its fans, and you're holding it up. You shouldn't be holding it up. But yeah, I think Francis truly deserves he deserves a title fight next. Honestly, if not that, he needs to fight John Jones. I know Daniel Cormier was like, yo, I think Daniel Cormier said he would, because like it's been obvious the only fight that Daniel wants is a rematch with Stipe. But he's like, you know what? I'd fight Francis Ngannou as well. So either Daniel Cormier Francis or John Jones Francis. I'm honestly more in the boat of John Jones Francis at this point. I want to see that. I'm at a point now where if John Jones loses to Francis and it kind of like retires him, that might be good. I'm also in a place where I'm really liking Francis Ngannou as a person. He's just super likable. And John Jones, not so much. But I super, respect John Jones, the GOAT type, all that shit. Yeah, obviously. But it's like a thing. It's like he needs to either just step away from the sport or he's got to figure it out. Like John Jones needs to get his shit together. And this, I think, is this could be a great catalyst for him to either prosper or to just burn. And sometimes, things have to end at some point, right? So not wishing any ill will on John, obviously, but it's the sort of thing. It's like, yo, this could be like I said, like a catalyst for him to either prosper. Fucking like imagine all like who's the GOAT shit goes out of the window now if John beats Francis Ngannou. Like even if it's like a kind of like a shitty decision, like his last fight, still for him to survive, if he survives 5 rounds with Francis Ngannou, kind of like pulls off it's like an even. Because the thing is this too, with the John Jones Dominick Reyes fight, that was a close fight. It could have went either way, obviously. I know some people are gonna say Reyes, and I'm more in the boat of like it could have went either way, and there's people who are like, nah, but John won the championship rounds. I'm in the boat of like it was like either way, right? And if John can do that with Francis Ngannou, it's like okay, like that's fucking crazy, By all measures, Francis Ngannou should decapitate John Jones. So I want to see the fight. I think that's what's next for Francis Ngannou. That also just built Francis Ngannou, like more. I think John has more to gain in terms of rep than Francis. from the fight. But yeah, either that or it is a title fight. All right, moving on. Henry Cejudo versus Dominick Cruz. I was super like just not like Cejudo. Not because I genuinely like just hate him. I hate the whole Cejudo cringe like king of cringe type thing. It actually annoys the fuck out of me. I know it's like a thing, like an act, but it's actually it bothers me so much. And so yeah, I was rooting for Dominick Cruz. Plus, I like the way Dominick Cruz fights, all that stuff. So yeah, Dominick Cruz lost. It was looking at it off rip. Me and my friends were like, "Oh, that's crazy." And I was like, "Nah, that was a kind of a fast like that was an early stoppage." They're like, "No." Then I started playing it back, and they were and like all of us was like, "All right, you know what? That was an early stoppage." So it is what it is. Though I'm not, I don't after watching where the fight was going, and after seeing that, it's like, yeah, Cejudo was gonna win unless Dominick Cruz had some sort of like big rally. You know what I mean? But nah, Cejudo was gonna win that, right? But here's the big changer for me. And now while we'll try more to respect Cejudo and forget that I didn't like him for so long, he just took off the act after winning the fight. He's like, I retire. I'm taking off this act, and he was just being himself. And it's like, yo, this guy's cool. He's a cool person. Fuck. But he just did all this other dumb shit. Made me not like him for a while he was fighting, So he might actually be retired. I think at most it'd probably be like a break. Because he's kind of proven everything he can. It's like he's gonna grow and just be able to fight higher in like higher divisions now. So he might just want to take a step back and let things, just let the divisions mutate and grow and change, and then maybe come back and try to like take it all back, like JSP type vibes. Who knows? But yeah, big ups to the King of Cringe. Big respects to him now that he's taken the whole moniker and thing and burned it up. He's a lot more likable that way, but I guess he had to try to sell his division and shit. I guess, right? But I want to see him fight Valentina. If that could somehow happen, I would so love to see that. I do hope that it'll be a closer fight, like as close as I'm hoping, because like Henry Cejudo's a man and she's a woman, and he's like he's really good. You know what I mean? And so was she, but the last thing I would want is for me like wish for this fight to happen. It happens, and then like Valentina gets really hurt. And, like I'd feel like shit. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Final fight of that card. Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. Bro, basically, long story short, Justin Gaethje kept it simple. He kept it crisp. He kept it fundamental, and fucked Tony Ferguson up. There's a lot of reason why I could have went bad for Tony Ferguson. He did that whole weight cut like a week before, and then did it again. That's not good for you. And then he was training and setting his mind for Khabib. That changed last minute, sort of in terms of like how long he was preparing for it. It changed last minute to Justin Gaethje. But not making any excuses. I know Tony Ferguson wouldn't make any excuses. He just lost, and first off, big ups. Justin Gaethje put on a great performance. I have to rewatch the fight from Justin Gaethje's perspective. I have a hard time watching the fight evenly through both fighters' perspectives. I mean, like basically, my eyes focus on one of them, and I look at the fight through their point of view. But I like to watch fights through the point of view of the winner, so I can see how winners win. So I need to rewatch that one and watch it focusing a little bit more eye time and mental or like cognitive headspace, focusing on Justin Gaethje a little bit more, so I can just better understand how he won from my own eyes. But yeah, it was great. He just fought a very technical fight. He kept it good. His corner did a really good job there. At when they there was a point in between rounds where he was getting hype, and his cornerman, his coach was just like, "You need to calm the fuck down. Keep your shit together. You've lost getting hype before in between rounds. Calm down, keep it going, win." And that was great. I think that's a nice benefit of there being no crowds. You can hear impacts of like strikes more. You can hear like fighters breathing. Like you guys like you can see like how tired these motherfuckers actually are just from their breath. You can hear corners more clearly. It's nice. I do think the energy of the fans is also a great thing. So I don't know, but basically, I'm not gonna cry. Like I'm not missing the fans, but when they come back, it'll be welcome back as well. Is basically the way I'm feeling about it. But well, I know back to Tony Ferguson, it just sucked to see him like he was getting his ass whooped, but he wouldn't quit because he's Tony Ferguson, and he has fucking like right orbit broken or like fractured and shit. And man's was just like there were points in time when he was getting hit and he was literally like hopping around, like his legs were like dead, like you could tell his legs are dead. He was trying to like move and like strafe away, but his legs weren't there, and it was like oh my god, he's really getting fucked up. But it was a great fight though. And it just sucks because now it's like, okay, now the big reason why I was rooting for Tony Ferguson, even though I liked Justin Gaethje more coming into this fight, I was rooting for Tony because I really need Tony Ferguson to happen one day. But in a way, it seems like it's just gonna get pushed off for at least like a year. And I say that because of some bad news involving Khabib's family and stuff that I'll get to in a minute. So let's just speed through these next two events, right? Let me see. I'm trying to calculate timing. So we've been going for, oh my Christ, 20 minutes already. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, let's speed this bitch up. So moving on to the Smith Texera card. Michael Johnson's fight. Hate to see it. He was winning that fight. He got subbed. I was like, ah, damn. Then after that, the Ray Borg Ricky Simon fight, that was a good one. But that was another one where it's like you could have said Ray Borg won, but Ricky Simon won just because he played to the whole like, oh, I'm gonna grapple you around a little bit longer and this and that, and yeah, won that one. Alexander Hernandez versus Drew Dober. Drew Dober fucking clipped him. That was a nice fight. A nice, sweet, quick one. Ben Rothwell versus Ovin St. Preux. Now, this is one of those instances where a motherfucker like pressuring and grappling. Ben deserved that win because OSP. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Weird ass name. OSP. He just couldn't get anything going. So yeah, big job. Good job for Big Ben. Yeah. So Anthony Smith versus Glover. That was just hard to watch. That was like if you haven't seen that fight, you need to watch it. To just build up your ability to watch hard, horrible shit happen. Anthony Smith just got fucked up. He just got the shit beat out of him for not for the whole fight though. He started off strong in the first round. The second round was more close, and then from third on, he was just he was just getting clipped and beat the fuck up. His nose was broken. His eye was fucked up. You could just tell. It got to a point where like he was definitely in such bad shape that like he was just like you could tell he couldn't even. It seemed like he couldn't even tell where Glover's hands really were. He could just tell that they were being thrown at him because the moment Glover would move a hand or even feint, he would just shell up and then kind of like fall over. It was like it was bad. Anthony Smith, him being Lionheart and being so damn tough, he's not taking any criticism that his corners take. Like, but he's not accepting any criticism that his corner is receiving. But your corner failed you, son. Like they should have called it off at least before the fifth round started. That was the point where we're like, all right, there's no coming back from this. It's over. You know what I mean? Your teeth got knocked the fuck out. Your face is fucked. You know what I mean? It's like you shouldn't. Like I know he's trying to protect his corner because he probably doesn't want to replace them. He doesn't think it's worth replacing them. But it's like, yeah, your corner fucked up, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna call any other fight from now on closer. They're gonna like if you receive an ass whipping like this, you're in your next fight. They're gonna be like I'm pretty sure they're gonna throw in the towel. I think they even learned their lesson, even if you might not want to admit to it or not. Moving on to the next card, Overeem versus Harris. Let's see. So the Song Yadong fight, I didn't really watch too much of that. But my homies told me that that it was another robbery. So I'll take their word for it. That's kind of like the way of the world these days. Jotko versus Eric Anders. Yes, Jotko won that. I was rooting for him big time. I'm so happy he won that one. I think he was just more technical and wasn't doing the whole I'm gonna chase you around and try to grab you bullshit. That's not that it's like it's not what I'm here for. So I'm glad Jotko won that. Then you got Dan Ige versus Edson Barbosa. I think Barbosa won. I think that one was bullshit. But I don't got too much of it to say than that. You know, it was just like I think Edson won. It was a great fight though. It was a good one, but I feel like Edson definitely won that one. But you know, whatever, shit happens, right? Now this one was a big robbery. Claudia Gadelha versus Angela Hill. There's nothing else to say other than Angela Hill was fucking her up and just did not get to just get the decision. I don't know why. Yeah, that was a robbery. Okay, so final fight: Alistar Overeem versus Walt Harris. Now this one, this is just a hard thing because you want Alistar to win because you know if like UFC, although you like Alistar to a certain extent, you know he's a legend. And he's lost. I think he lost like 2 in a row. Ah, sorry. He's lost like 2 in a row. I think his last one he lost 2 like very last minute. And you know you want to see him prosper and come back, right? But then you got Walt Harris. You know, dude just lost his daughter. The UFC, and I think in a kind of cringy way and very like disrespectful to what happened, but they probably had to get Walt's permission. Decided to promote the fight on like piggybacking off of his daughter's death and shit, right? And I just found that kind of, it's like not disgusting, but like weird. It was just like, what the fuck? Like this is odd. This is not okay. But you know, they did what they did. The fight went the way it did. Walt Harris had a really good first round, or like beginning of the first round. He had a really good, like he really like there was a point where he like blitzed Alistar and really like it was like, yo, he's about to win this, you know, but he used too much gas and didn't get the finish. And Alistar, being a vet, was able to survive it. Then the second round came in. Alistar just wrestled. That was some of the best wrestling I've seen in like a heavyweight fight ever. You know, it was like a Khabib type, like get you in very like vulnerable position. He controlled Walt's whatever arm Walt was trying to use to like post up and like get posture up and keep his head and like chest and torso off the mat. Alistar would reach around while being on top of him and pull that wrist and pull that down, forcing Walt into pretty much just laying on the ground like a vulnerable person with only one arm to protect himself. And Alistar would just proceed to just fire shots in with the other arm. And kind of like lock his legs up with his legs, and he couldn't really go anywhere. Alistar, yeah, he put on a great performance, and Walt unfortunately lost. But at the end of the fight, Walt was okay, which is also good, you know. It was just a technical knockout because he wasn't able to fight back. And Alistar showed, you know, a lot of love, and you know, and prayers go out to Walt and his family. I know this loss is potentially more painful than any other loss he's could have ever had. So yeah. So moving on to more UFC news. I think I'm gonna make this actually just a UFC episode because I've been talking for way too long. So I'm gonna split the other stuff into another one. So let's just end this off. So basically, after the Tony Ferguson Justin Gaethje event, also GSP got inducted to the Hall of Fame. I think they announced that during that event. So yeah, big shouts out to GSP. He's like one of the many goats. There are a lot of goats in this fucking sport. So Connor was just teeing off on fucking Twitter talking wild shit to like everyone in his like weight class. But I just wanted to give note that the one thing that slowed him down and shut him the fuck up. Also, like, you know, I love Connor, but the one thing that shut him up and was the news about Khabib's dad. So right now, Khabib's dad is he's in a tough spot. He's well, I'll read a quote from Khabib, right? He said More than 20 of my close relatives have suffered from COVID-19 and also had to stay in intensive care. Some of them are not with us anymore. My father is still going through this disease. He also had a heart complication due to COVID-19. So his dad was in like a medically induced coma at some point. Now I think he's woken up, but he's still doing pretty damn bad. Khabib's making that very clear. His dad is not in the clear right now. There's no reason to celebrate yet. But there's all the reason to pray. And just hope the best. Yeah, this Corona shit has hit like Nurmagomedov and the family like dumb hard, and it's unfortunate, that it is the reality that we're living in right now, and it's tough, but all we can do is just wish the best for Khabib and his family and his father especially. And yeah, I know they're strong people. So if anyone or any group can like pull through struggles like this and prosper after, it's those Dagestanis. So prayers out for them. So I guess let's see. I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna record another one right after this. So yeah, but hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you're taking care, and hopefully all this Corona shit could be behind us sooner rather than later. Stay up, stay safe, and stay alive. Fuck am I talking about? Peace, bitch.